Hello and welcome to another Vinny Talks Yanks. I'm your host Vincent LaRose, and today it is October 25th. It is like 12 o'clock in the morning. I'm re-recording this video because I tried my new mic. I got to wait for my PC to come in. It's being built, blah blah blah, all messed up. Giancarlo, sorry, gotta edit this video twice now. It's going to be a little bit different. I thought some different things, so I'm actually happy I got to re-record this video. But this is another 2025 Yankees Players Review, and today we are talking about the New York Yankees second baseman Jazz Chisolm Jr. Jazz Chisolm Jr. was amazing for the Yankees this year. I know he wasn't great in the playoffs, but Jazz is the first player since Alfonso Soriano did in 2005 to have a 30-30 season. Alfonso Soriano was ridiculous in 2005. It was a 40-40 season. But Jazz was just phenomenal this year. I think he would have been even better if the Yankees wouldn't have toyed with him at third base. I understand he was good at third base last year, but just with the circumstances of the team, keeping LeMahieu like the way they did, I think they played with Jazz too much. I wish we didn't get robbed of an entire month of Jazz Chisolm Jr. because I feel like if he would have had that month, he would have gotten. He did start off slow, so he may have not been insane, but probably tack on another 10 stolen bases because after the oblique injury, he seemed reluctant to steal. So I would not be surprised at one bit if Jazz doesn't miss that month of baseball if he had a 40-40 season there. It would have been really, really cool to see, but Jazz is just electric on the field. Just a perfect lefty swing for Yankee Stadium. I like his new 70% motto until he needs to use 100%. All that good stuff. But right here, right now, I'm going to read off Jazz Chisholm's statistics for the 2025 season. So, this year, Jazz played 130 games. He had 531 plate appearances. He had 31 home runs. He had 242, 332 on base percentage, a 481 slugging, 126 WRC plus, 4.4 WAR. So he was a well above average player. He's getting to that star point. Jazz is getting to that star where he's finally breaking out. He's getting comfortable. He's finally with a team that lets him be him. He seems so comfortable. He seems happy to be a Yankee. The only thing I could complain about with Jazz Chisolm Jr. is probably the mouth, man. Talks way too much to umpires. I know he gets screwed on a lot of calls, but sometimes you gotta let him go because getting thrown out of the game is much worse than just a strikeout. I mean, I know Jazz struggled a little bit, in some times where he was chasing a little bit, and he was trying to get his timing right and everything back when he came off the IL, and he just couldn't keep his mouth shut. Jazz got thrown out so many times this year. But overall, I still love Jazz, man. He's so fun to watch. He's an electric player to have on the field. And he fits perfectly with the Yankees. He's not the number one guy, so not all the pressure's on him. He fits well in that 5 to 7 hole, depending on what the lineup is, depending on the pitcher. I know he still struggles against lefties, so maybe that's something he could definitely improve on. But I just love Jazz. I love watching him play. Even the defense is phenomenal. I know he has some silly errors this year, but the thing I noticed with Jazz, a lot of his errors is because he's almost just trying to do way too much. A diving catch on a ball, he tries to throw a ball to first to get a guy he would have never got in the first place. Ball gets away, goes into the dugout, camera well, whatever it is. Guy gets the extra bag, error. I know the one in the ALDS was brutal. He has to have that ball with Schlittler on the mound. The way Schlittler was dealing, it would be the error that eventually led us to losing the game. But outside of that, man, Jazz is so fun to watch. And I'm not so much going to talk about what I expect from Jazz to come. I'm really going to talk more about the Yankees end, what they need to do with Jazz. I know in the past the Yankees haven't had the greatest luck with contract extensions. The most memorable one recently is the Aaron Hicks contract extension, the 7 years, $77 million. He only ended up playing about 4 years of that, and most of the time he was hurt. And then the last 3 seasons, he played, getting into the 5th season, he was hurt. He didn't get any playing time, this and that. He eventually got released, went to the O's, had a mini 2-week resurgence, and then just fell off the face of the planet, and now he's out of the league. So I know that's in the back of our heads as Yankee fans. We also have the Luis Severino one, where I don't think it was much of the play. It was really just the injuries. He was just hurt so much. And I see why the Yankees would be a little bit reluctant to give Jazz a long-term contract. He does get hurt a lot. And the thing about Jazz is he fits with the Yankees now, but the Yankees can bring anybody in, and there might be an issue clubhouse-wise. Jazz isn't really toxic, but he's very big on his persona, and just the wrong guy mixed with Jazz is not a good recipe to cook up, especially in the clubhouse. I mean, I think with Judge as the captain and the guys that got in that clubhouse even in years to come, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. But I really liked what Cashman did during the trade line, although it didn't really work out into our favor. But picking up guys with years of service like Caballero, Bednar, Duvall, Bird, all guys that are going to be on the team for a couple years down the road. And Jazz is now going into his last season before free agency. He will be a free agent after 2026, and I would love to avoid free agency with Jazz. Don't even give him the opportunity to talk with other teams. I know he loves playing in New York, and I think, truthfully, I do think Yankees, like, if he did go into the free agency, would be his number one pick to come back. But we thought that with Juan Soto as well, and you see what happens. Not comparing Jazz to Juan Soto, but just I would really like to see the Yankees extend him, even if it's on even this offseason, if they get something to work out. He's going to make nearly $13 million in arbitration, but maybe you work out a deal with Jazz where it's a couple years, you give him the $13 million a year, and then you just keep giving him $13 million a year. Maybe like a 3-year, $39 million extension or something like that. Maybe after 2027 he has a player opt out, or he's in his favor. He's still making good money, but he still has a little bit more time to prove himself, because his years in Miami were very strange with the moving around position wise, and then the injuries he was having. I think it would help Jazz personally for just 2 more dominant years, and that'll 100% get him over $100 million contract. Because at that point, if it doesn't, I don't know what else Jazz has to do. People just don't like him at that point. But regardless of what you want to say about Jazz was good in Miami, and going to New York just elevated him. I remember seeing a graphic, probably towards the middle, towards the end of the season, where his first 162 with the Yankees was something ridiculous, 37 homers, almost 50 stolen bases, 250 average. Jazz isn't gonna hit for a super high average, but he's gonna always have a high slugging. And the on-base percentage is generally about 100 points, 80 to 100 points over the average. So he does take a decent amount of walks. The only thing with Jazz at the plate is really just the chasing balls. His chase rate's a little bit higher than you'd want it to be, but I don't think that's something too concerning. It's not egregiously high, and I think that's something the Yankees could easily work on. Getting Jazz a really perfect hitting coach like Aaron Judge did with his personal hitting coach would elevate Jazz even more. But he's just amazing, man. I love watching Jazz play so much. He's so fun to watch. Just him and Volpe up the middle. I know Volpe struggled a little bit this year, but most of his errors came after his shoulder injury, so I think that is likely why the defense went downhill. But Volpe and Jazz are going to be smooth up the middle for years to come. I think the Yankees should move off Volpe, but I already did that video. Anyways, but Jazz is going to fit well. He's going to fit really well at second base for the Yankees. He just reminds me of a not so smooth Robinson Cano, if you guys get what I mean. Robinson Cano was more chill, just super smooth at second base. I feel like Jazz is almost the opposite, where he's just super energetic, super fun, and he is really smooth at second. But there's some things he could tidy up. Jazz is all about flash and stuff, all with the jewelry, the different gloves every night. I remember watching the ALDS and John Smoltz saying something about that, that's about switching the gloves. It wasn't egregiously bad, but it was something last night he's wearing a different glove, maybe that's affected today. It was the exact same glove, it was just a different color, so whatever. But Jazz is awesome, man. I don't know, I'm glazing the shit out of this guy, but he is really fun to watch, and I do think the Yankees really need to work on a contract extension. The one thing that is really concerning with Jazz coming up next year is, as we all know, baseball has now implemented the ABS system. The ABS system has been confirmed. It will be used in 2026. And I do feel even on close pitches, close pitches, Jazz complains a lot. Even on strikes, he complains a lot. And I'm worried that I know the misconception with the ABS system is you only get 2 challenges per game, which is technically true, but it's just like a regular challenge. If you are right, you keep the challenge. I am a little worried about, Jazz, with the emotional part of Jazz, where it's like the first inning, nobody on, 2 outs, and it's like it's like a 0-2 pitch, like borderline pitch that's like barely a strike, and he thinks it's the ball, so he's gonna challenge it. So that is one thing I hope the Yankees sit down with him and talk about, how like you need to be overly confident. You also need to know the right situations to use the ABS system and not put yourself in a bad spot where, like, I don't want to run out of challenges and then in the bottom of the ninth tie run on third base, a 3-2 count, a very clear ball is called a strike, and then we're screwed and we can't even challenge the pitch. So it's going to be interesting with Jazz, because we know how he is. He was definitely all over that ABS system in spring training. He was all over it. So even I think he used it one time in the All-Star game as well. I may be wrong though, but I think Jazz next year will be even better. Hopefully the Yankees just keep him at second base. I know we'll have Ryan McMahon, but we'll have Cabrera back, so there's no reason to throw him at third base. There should be no excuse to throw Jazz anywhere near third base. Jazz needs to stay at second base, keep him comfortable, keep him moving well. It kind of reminds me like a better version of Gleyber Torres, in the sense of just there's no stress on the fielding side of it, so it just gives him a little more focus at the plate. You're not thinking about, all right, well, I have to perform at the plate, and then I have to figure out this new position to play well, like when Torres went to shortstop, and like he was not only bad at short, but then his bat fell off the face of the earth. I think Jazz at second is exactly where he should be, exactly where he should stay. One thing I did also notice about Jazz this year, which I'm surprised they didn't try to do this with Volpe as well. As we all know, the torpedo bat stuff at the beginning of the season was like the talk of baseball. Oh, the Yankees are cheating with the torpedo bats, blah, blah, blah. That stuff, it comes out, a lot of guys around the league use it. And Jazz was one of the guys, and he had like an egregious torpedo bat. It literally looked like a torpedo. That's exactly the name. The way it was the way it was shaped, it was so weird, because he's the first player I noticed, because I was like, why does this bat look like that? That's so strange. Like, it didn't look like, Volpe's or anything. Like, it looked egregious. Like, it was nuts. But he was the talk of that, you know how Jazz is on Twitter, talking blah, 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 back and forth with people, this and that. But I noticed he hit more homers, but the average, the on-base percentage, everything else dipped quite a bit. So after coming back from the oblique injury, he changed back to his regular bat, and then he just went crazy. I think Jazz, figured something out about himself as well when he was on the IL. So hopefully, Jazz has gone 100% his entire career. Hopefully this new 70% mono keeps him healthy, because he essentially gets hurt every single season. He's kind of like Stan, just not as bad. Not as bad injury-wise. Not saying bad like in play. Stan's amazing, but hopefully the 70% mono can keep him on the field longer. I want to see Jazz play like 150 games. I don't know if he's even played 150 games in his entire career. Let me look that up real quick, because I'm actually really curious. Because I just remember him getting hurt so much. Chisolm. So this season was actually his career high with 130. It's saying here that 2021 was his career high at 124, but he did play 130 games this season. So Jazz has never played more than 130 games in a season. That's nuts. He's going into his 6th year, and he's only played 579 career games. Oh, last year was his career high, 140. The internet sucks, I'm sorry. Last year was his career high at 147. So that's exactly where I'd want Jazz Chisolm to be. 2024, that was with Miami and the Yankees. So he played majority of last year, but like 2020, obviously 2020 was a little bit different, but 21 games. 2021, a little bit better, 124, but 22 was hurt a lot. It's only 60 games. 23 was hurt a lot, 97 games. 24 only had one injury still, 147 games. 25, the month misses a month at 130 games. I think if Jazz can have just a full full-blown 155, 160. I don't think he's going to get to 160 because I think you give Jazz a little bit more days off just because of the lefties. But like a 145 game season, you might see him hit 40 homers. You might see him hit steal. He could get in 50 bags. I fully believe Jazz Chisolm Jr. could steal 50 bags. Keep him away from the home run derby, though. That was really awful. I know it's for fun, and I would like to see Jazz do it again, but maybe not. But Jazz is projected to get 12 to 13 million this year in arbitration. A decent hit to the Yankees. I think he's the highest projected arbitration case. So moving from, I think, what is he at, like 7.5 million all the way up to 12, 13 million, maybe 11.5. I know last year he took a deal with the Yankees, which is crazy to think. Like, I appreciate that, but Jazz, like, get your money, bro. The Yankees don't need to save money. But anyways, I'm really excited to see Jazz in 2026. I'm hoping he can have a full, healthy season, because I think this is where we really see Jazz, like, break out. I know he's already broken out, but, like, have just, like, a really, really good caliber season. I don't think he's gonna have, like, I don't think he has an MVP caliber season in him, but it wouldn't surprise me if it's like a top 10, maybe 9 or 10 or something like that from Jazz. But anyways, that's where I'm gonna end it. I'm happy to re-record this. I feel like this version of it came out way better. It's gonna sound way better, and the audio's not gonna lag as bad. But like I said, that's where we're gonna end it. So as always, thank you for everybody watching. If you're on the YouTube side or if you're listening on the podcast side, I appreciate every last one of you. Remember, I do TikToks, I do YouTube Shorts, Instagram, Facebook, all that. Follow me on my socials. I'm on Twitter too, so you can get notifications when I post. We're still doing 3 days a week right now for the off season. Doing player reviews as we have. Probably gonna do weekly updates on everything going on, rumors, blah 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 blah. This and that. But as always, I hope every one of you has a wonderful day, weekend, night, blah blah blah, whatever it is. Hope everything's going well for you, and go Yankees.